welcome to HoolsRules. I am Hools, and we're here today to talk a bit more about me, Hools. I'm part of the name Hools. I figured it's important to share my experience and where I come from when it comes to gaming, so I'm going to be doing that on Thursdays. If you don't want to hear any more about me, just check out my Monday videos. That's cool. You don't need to know about me, but I'll happily talk more about it if you want to know. So I want to just talk about is the holidays. Today's Christmas Day for those who celebrate, and gaming was a very big part of my childhood. Board gaming originally, and then video gaming next, and just in general playing. And I think that's what's so great about board games is that you get to bring the sport and the fun of play back into adulthood, and you're allowed to do that? Crazy. So for me, I know that when I was a kid, like we always got a game, like a family game for Christmas. It was always like the best gift that we got. And then we would always crack it open and play it together. It created such a joyous time. I think holidays can be really hard. I find them very difficult. I don't really have the greatest relationship with my family. But you know, there are so many memories of being younger that I do really love. I remember constantly we'd be going to my grandparents' house at Christmas. Every year we'd go, and you know, one of the best times that we would have is we would all sit around the table, we'd play a game of cards that like was our family game. And it's just so wonderful to be able to bring everyone together at a table and all be kind of like focusing on one thing. And you know, they say that ADHD and autism is genetic, so I'm sure it was also because a lot of my family is also neurodivergent and they will never, ever understand that. So it was really a great way for us all to be in the same room, all focusing on the same thing without feeling like we have to be performing or acting a specific way. We're just like, okay, this is the game, this is the goal, and this is how we're going to play. I remember my grandmother had a game closet. I can visually recall what it looked like. The cabinet itself had a little triangle handle on it. It was always high up, so oftentimes we'd have to get one of the adults to open it and bring something down, but she had so many games in there, like old school games that we would often just like break out and be like, let's try a new one. And I was always the one who was like cracking something open and trying something new, and I'd be the reading the rule book and being like, okay, let's learn something new today. So I find specifically around the holidays, it's always a nice place to remember gaming in general. Even when I visit my family very infrequently over the year, but when I do, it's like always lovely to have gaming. Even when I go visit when they were really, really young, they still had like games they would bring out, like Candyland and like a little card matching game when they were very, very young. And so I do look forward to when they're older and we can play these games over here, bigger games and more investive games. And even with my partner and his family, his nephews have always been into board games. And that was something that I found was really easy to then be part of his family while being able to feel like I'm just kind of coming into this holiday thing. I'm sort of just like fitting in, I'm gonna sit here. But then we would bring out the board game, and it was like we were all talking the same language because we all wanted to be working towards the same goal, and it's such a cool thing. So I really love board gaming, not only just because it like brings people together, but it's a space where people can all focus on one goal without feeling like they have to be something or they have to mask while they're in a social setting. You can just be like, I know what I'm here for, I know this is a goal, and it's really helpful for opening up that space. So I don't know, maybe I'm just getting all emotional this time of year. I don't know what it is, but I think gaming is super special, and it's been a very big part of my life, and I hope that it can bring joy to you. So if there's anything specific you want to know, if there's anything about a game or about me and my background in gaming, please let me know. That's what I'm here for. Otherwise, it's been a delight to share with you. Thank you for being here. This has been HoolsRules. I have been Hools. I still am Hools. Am I? Yes, I'm still Hools. And as always, have fun. Who